Hello and welcome to another episode of me painting again. Oh yes, we're painting again. Woohoo! So I've got some yellow ochre. Yes, yellow ochre. So what's going on in this painting today? We've got yellow ochre and we're going to be using more of this today. A bit of yellow ochre, white. Let's get some of this white. Maybe I'll use yellow ochre and white like that. This will be our sky colour today. What, you're not using your famous homemade ultramarine blue today? No. Sometimes it's good not to do a blue sky and do a different coloured sky. Move that over there a second. So we're going to do this. Need a bit more white in it. I mean water in it, not white. A bit more water. There we go. Just so it flows a little bit better onto the page. And it will dull a little bit as it dries, but that's okay. It's okay. Quite a lot of paint on my brush actually. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. This is about how far we'll go. Not too worried about this area because I'm going to put some rocks in here. Maybe do this bit just so I've got my horizon bit. Smooth that off a little bit. There we go. What's that dot? Oh, it's on my screen. See, sometimes when you clean your brush and go, it goes all over the place. So I'll have it to about there. I want to give myself a good bit of sky, and then the bottom, I'll let my brush just soak a little bit. I'll use another brush. The bottom part, I want more of a more of a browny yellow. A tiny bit of ivory black in it, and yellow ochre. Oh yes, that's more like it. Wants to be dulled a little bit, maybe a bit of a burnt umber in there. A bit more of the black. A bit more black. I'll put it over here. You can see that. White. Oh yes. See this? This is weird because I've got a reference photo that I have modified a lot on Photoshop because I want to do my painting. So I got this picture and then I was like, well, the only thing I like about it was that there was water and there was a rock, but that was it. So I've modified it. I was looking at the colour of the water, and I was like, well, that looks very blue there, and I thought I'll check it just to check, and you know it wasn't blue at all. It was like a sort of almost like this, almost this colour, but it looked blue to my eyes, and I was like, well, this is a bit weird. What's going on? It does happen like that sometimes, doesn't it? When you're looking at colours, your brain starts making the colours up almost. Because it's water, your brain goes, oh, well, it's got to be blue. I find that really weird. The colours around change the way you perceive colour. Well, most of us. Until you like train your eye a little bit and you start seeing what it really is. We really are in the Matrix. Right, let's start filling this in a bit. It's got a bit more yellow ochre in it, that bit. That has. Go to about there. Not too worried about that blending in with that, because that kind of helps us, because that's what would happen anyway in the world of this sort of thing. Thinking about the water. This one will work quite well as well because of the paper being a tan colour, and our overall colour is sort of a yellowy colour. It kind of works quite nice. Going to go for more of a yellowy ochre colour down here. Yeah, but it's nice to do a seascape without blue. I think it's more, it's more of a challenge, isn't it, to try that out. If you're thinking of doing a painting of the sea, have a go at different colours. Don't always think blue, even though blue, I mean, I like it. I'm not saying I don't like using blue, because I do. I think it's amazing. But, try other things. Try out other colours. Just putting in a few little shapes here for smaller waves. Be a little bit there. You can always give your brush a little bit of a wiggle to get a more of a watery effect. Okay, now what I need to do now, I've got these rocks. What I want, so what I'm going to do, get some of this yellow and white. There's a bit of black there, I don't really mind, maybe a bit of red in it. I just grabbed a bit of red. That's quite nice. Something like that, and that'll be our distant rock. Because we want a rock over here, quite distant. And I'm using these shapes like this. Spike type shapes. Because I want this area to look a little bit like a shark would live there. So just to create that feel, I should say it's more of a feel, I'm gonna put like these sort of spiky shapes on the rocks. So there's one of the distant rocks. Using a little bit of white, I'm just going to mist that base part a little bit. Something like that. And then along here as well, I'm just going to mist things a little bit. That's a bit better. Now I want to put in my rock here, which is going to be darker, more black and sort of ivory black, yellow ochre, dark, lots of dark. And what I've done is I've created a rock. Sometimes when I want to design something before painting it, I'll do it on Photoshop and do a quick design. It's just like using, a piece of paper. I do that sometimes as well. It's just you can experiment with colour a little bit quicker, I suppose. I've done this rock shape, which I quite like. It's sort of a, to me, it's almost like it looks like a ship, but it's also got a look of some kind of monster. I was just thinking danger, really. A dangerous sort of shape. And you probably know, danger means sharp, triangular shapes. So of course, if you want to design a dangerous shape, you want it to be quite sharp and have triangular areas. Just going a little bit darker there. On the whole though, I do like this. I want to smooth out the base a little bit though. A little bit of the white on my finger. Just got to think of all the, the spray and things and in the sea, using that atmosphere. There we go. And then there's another one here. So it's just that colour again, the mixture, yellow ochre, burnt umber, ivory black. See, I find yellow ochre and ivory black, you can make some really good metal colours with it. Old looking metal and armour. It's a great little combo actually. Yellow ochre is a fantastic colour to use. I mean, so's ivory black, really. It's such a useful black. I won't go into one of my black rants again. The ivory black. Oh, you shouldn't use it because it deadens your colours. Yeah, we won't go into one of those rants because we all know that it's brilliant. There's a time and place to use all the colours really, but never use flesh tint on flesh. If you're painting flesh, don't use flesh tint. It's one of those paints that it's not unuseful because you can use it for highlighting and stuff. It's quite good for highlights. It reminds me of like I use Naples yellow if I was gonna highlight sometimes, and I don't get flash tint. I just assume it's another one of those business things, isn't it? Try and convince people that they need a pre-made colour. Oh, why don't you get yourself some flash tint? Save yourself some time. Buy this now. You don't need to mix that. In fact, you don't need to mix any colours because we've got all the colours pre-mixed for you. Here's flesh tints, here's sky blues, here's apple reds. Buy them all. Forget colour mixing. Good old sales tactics, eh? Right, let's have a look. So we've got our big old rock. It does blend away quite nicely. Things like this, sort of accidentally, it's got like a light that goes. I'm leaving that because I quite like that. There's things happen like that all the time with painting. Happy accidents, as they say, innit? Got to go with them. Enjoy when this sort of stuff happens. Adds a little something to your painting. That's the only thing that I find I don't get if I'm on the computer, because it's all a bit more precise, and you don't get accidental mark making type things. This is where the world of traditional painting sort of, to me, goes above painting on the computer. But they, like I said, they both have their uses, don't they? Use them the way you wanna. You can use them to benefit your art, then it's good, isn't it? So I'm having some white and yellow, and I want to start creating my wave. So I'm gonna have a wave coming, the biggest one coming along. I had it down here, but I think I'm gonna have it up here, like there. So I'm not quite white enough for that. It needs to be a bit whiter. So I'm just throwing some more white in there. So there. Like that. Just smooth out the top. over there, sort of breaking it as well, like that. We'll have our light sort of coming through, hitting some of these waves. I want a bit of movement behind. So just see if this will do it. Yeah, that kind of has a little bit of this colour, I'm thinking, in here. Maybe a little bit of a sparkle there. I've got to kind of imagine there's all these different bits of water splashing around. And then here, because we've got this nice dark, I'm going to keep that. I might mist it below there, so I can get a bit of this. Sort of imagine another wave. See how you can start layering it and getting it a little bit lighter, a little bit mistier. And then here, I could add a bit of light going. It's probably a little bit yellow, that. Just dull that with some white. Whitish grey. It's sort of splashing down here. Little flicks of light just in there. Just gives it a bit more movement in there. And down here we can start flattening things out a bit using this colour. It's almost like a safe area here, and then dangerous there. Because this has got straight what sort of flatness feels safe to me. Okay, something like that. And I can over-exaggerate the area I want a bit more light, like here. Really get into some there, needs a bit more. Maybe there as well. Definitely here. A bit more of that. A bit more here as well. But you can really take your time building it up, choose where you want your light to go, and then you can start building it up like this, slowly choosing little splashes like there, along that line there, that dark line. You can stick in a little bit of splash in there just to add a bit more to it, maybe along here as well. Get really specific. Yeah, just sort of sit back, have a look at what you've got, think about what you want to do, what you want to add. It's looking pretty good, isn't it? And that water, when I look at it, my mind starts telling me it's water, and is it blue? Is it? Well, my mind thinks it must be like water, so blue must be possibly. Yeah, it's just somewhat interesting that I think of that the mind can sometimes see colour that's not there, or a mental assumption of colour. Because the sky is blue, the sea, the water's blue. I'm just adding little hints of something here and there, and then I sort of run my finger across it like that, and it just makes it disappear a little bit, because I don't want it to be such a statement. It's just a little something. But then it stays there there is a bit of something there, and it just add in something that I wanted. Well, quite like this. I'm gonna add some sort of a bird in there. It looks like there should be a bird. I'm going to use the same colour as the rock. I think there would be one perched here, wouldn't there? What should we do? Let's imagine a shape. I think there'd be quite a tall one, sort of like that. I don't know what that is. You can get the liner and start adding different detail onto the rock as well. You can add things. Yeah, just like the idea of a few birds perched on here. Yeah, they're not real birds. Obviously, they're painted. No, what I mean is I'm just making them up, just putting shapes in that make you think, oh, well, they look like birds on there. And maybe there'll be one here as well. Maybe just getting ready to take off. I've seen a bird like that once when I was in London and I was taking pictures. I don't know, pelicans. Let's pretend that there's another one flying there. This has turned out better than I thought it would, actually. I quite like the addition of the little birds. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like that. Fun little sea painting that you could do. You could do this one. No problem. It's quite good fun as well. So I can add more dark down here in those waves. Yeah, and I think I'll call this one finished. Or do I put a little bit of light in? So much for finished. I always see something else. I was like, oh, well, I could do this. I could add one little thing, one little light, a little bit of, you know how when it's really cloudy and then you get a bit of sunlight showing through, a bit like that. It just about melts through the cloud. I'll put that type of light in there. I'll do. So I'll call that one finished. A few birds sat on my made up rock. They changed the whole flow of the painting. It was supposed to be a desolate, dangerous rock where sharks would swim around. And now the birds have all flown in, taking it over. They use the rocks to perch and watch the fish. When they're a bit hungry, they swoop down. Well, that's what's happening now in the painting. Just need a bit more light on that. That's better. Yeah, so there we go. That'll do for this one. Thanks very much for watching this episode. And I'll see you at another one. Cheers. Bye.